Welcome everybody to the team and driver draw for the upcoming season on F1 2020. We've got 3 leagues, gold, silver and bronze, for the teams and the drivers to be picked and placed.
And we are going to start off with gold, season 4. I can't believe it. So this is going to be fantastic, isn't it? And yeah, we got 10 teams to pick and 20 drivers. And let's start off, shall we, with the first team that is about to be drawn, and it is the Renault team. It was kind of a not a very good season last season for the Renault team, was it? And in the Renault team, who's going to be the first name out of the hat? It is Mr. Elite then. Of course, a man who's been ever present since almost since the get-go, hasn't he, really? Fantastic stuff. His best race, in my opinion, was last season in America, and that is quote for by the man who was runner-up last season for the last 2 seasons, actually, of Emerson as well. What a start.
Yeah, it was a fantastic team that was, and we'll wait for the second team to be picked off the wheel, and it's going to be a Racing Point, or Racing Punt as I like to call them. But they're a very nice livery, and yeah, looking forward to seeing who's going to be racing for these guys in gold this season. It's going to be Dan Murphy is the first driver, or potentially the first driver. We never know who's going to be the lead driver out of the 2 of them. But yeah, the first driver and the second driver is going to be TNR Twango.
Oh, same lineup as last year, wasn't it, really, with the Renault team? And now we're on to the Red Bull team. And in the Red Bull team, let's see who we've got then. And we're just now waiting for the first driver to come out. And the first driver is a returning Laggy racer. Of course, he returned on the back end of last season. Laggy did, and I think he's a very strong driver on his day. Second driver to be drawn out of the hat, so to speak, is Lights as well. So remaining with the Red Bull team there, Alex.
Yeah, it's interesting. That is, well, obviously it is a random draw, but yeah, I think Lights is going to be happy with that. He was looking to stay in the Red Bull team, I think, and yeah, we'll crack on with the next team, which is Team Haas. Team Haas with a new livery, of course, for 2020 because of the Rich Energy fiasco, we'll put it that way. But the first driver off the wheel for Team Haas is ALR Sammy. So congratulations to Sammy, securing the Haas seat for the next season, for season 4. And his teammate is going to be Exile as well. So Exile, a returning driver, and a very good, consistent driver as well. So that'll be a good lineup for Team Haas.
That's a great lineup for Team Haas. Up next is the McLaren team. Last time they're going to be with the Renault engine for this season as well. And of course, in it is going to be, as we're just waiting for the Spinneroni to finish, and it's Fireshot, who was in Haas for the last 2 seasons. So driving for McLaren this season. Good stuff indeed then. And alongside Fireshot is going to be the British Italian driver, Jonathan Cox. That was very close to Mumford there.
Yeah, you can't really tell on that one, but yeah, it was just about Jonathan. So Williams is next up, the 6th team, I think it is. Nope, the 5th team. Nope, 6th team. Sorry, get my words out, get my numbers working. Lost Souls is going to be the first driver in the Williams team for gold season 4. Promoted, of course, from silver last season. Did a great job in silver as well. And his teammate is going to be Granty, the returning champion, the 3-time or 2-time world champion and a constructors champion. So he'll be sticking in the Williams as from season 3.
Blimey, and of course Granty's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? Up next is the Mercedes team, and in the Mercedes, let's see who's going to be driving the Mercedes. And first up is Alhan, of course, being promoted from silver as well, so that's a very good start to Mercedes, isn't he? Very consistent driver Alhan is. And who is going to be alongside Alhan? Oh goodness me, it's the first ever ALR World Champion of Nigel. That's a fantastic team, that really is.
I think that's team consistent, isn't it? I think both those drivers are absolutely on point in terms of getting the car over the line. Next team is going to be AlphaTauri. So yeah, I love this new livery. I think they've done a great job with it. But we'll see if Echo, who's the first driver, is going to be a fan of it as well. Let us know in the comments or in the chat somewhere. And his teammate is going to be Tansley. Of course, Tansley was in the Ferrari last season, had a bit of a torrid time, but hopefully he can crack on season 4 for the AlphaTauri team.
And up next, then, we have the Ferrari team, talking of which, isn't it? And let's see then what the who's going to be driving for the famous red car then, and who's it going to land on? Oh, Favre is returning back to the Italian team, so good stuff from Favre. Hopefully, he can really build on last season after he had a bit of a difficult season last season, didn't he? And up next is Droffas, and who has also been promoted from silver as well. That's a fantastic team. I'm liking his team so far, Nosey.
Yeah, and there's one team left, and I don't know who it's going to be. I think it's going to be Alfa Romeo, Sean. But yeah, there it is. All confirmed, a bit upside down there, but I'm pretty sure that's Alfa Romeo. And the two drivers remaining, well, the first driver who's going to be picked is going to be Mumford, of course, in Mercedes last season. But we're battling for Team Alpha tonight. Well, not tonight, but in the next season or so. And his teammate is going to be Milan, of course, a new driver joining us for Season 4. So that is the draw for Gold, well, for Gold Season 4. In the Renault, we have got Mr. Elite and Emerson. In the Racing Point, we've got Dan Murphy and Twan. Red Bull have got Laggy Racer and Young Lights. Haas is Sam and Exile. McLaren is Fireshot and Jonathan Cox. Williams is Lost Souls and Granty. Mercedes is Alhan and Nigel. AlphaTauri is Echo and Tansley. Ferrari is Farth and Droftas. And finally, last but not least, is Alfa Romeo, Mumford and Milan.
That's a very good lineup. I'm loving that. Next then is a Season 2 for Silver. Of course, the first ever Silver season last season was brilliant, wasn't it? And let's kick off, shall we? Who's going to be the first team then off the wheel then? And it is the Red Bull racing car then. So really, let's see what they can do. They had a fantastic season last season, didn't they? They were breaking records left, right and centre with the champion Glock in the end, wasn't it? Who's the first one out the hat? It is Andre there. I thought it was, I was having a look there. It was very tight. But Andre then returning to Red Bull, then brilliant stuff indeed then. And who is going to be driving alongside Andre? It is it's Flea. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. Going from Ferrari to Red Bull there. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, he's doing the Vettel opposite, isn't he? But we never know what's going to happen with Vettel. But yeah, congratulations to Andre and Flea. Racing Point, the second team off the wheel, and in Racing Point, the first driver for Racing Point, is going to be Serious Mushroom, a very consistent driver. I think he proved his talents with Williams in the first season of Silver, and yeah, we're moving over to Racing Point. V Todd is going to follow him also to Racing Point from McLaren last season, so a very strong lineup there for Team Racing Point.
Very good lineup indeed. Up next is the McLaren, I think that is. It's very close, isn't it, between the Renault and McLaren there? And it is the McLaren. Lovely stuff indeed then. And who is going to be in the McLaren then? Oh, goodness me then. I would say that's one of the favourites, isn't it? Porty Orange there be driving the orange McLaren as well. That's quite a nice fit, isn't it? Who is going to be alongside him? And it is Walker. Very interesting to see what Walker can do in his first full season for Silver. I'm looking forward to that. That's a strong team.
Very strong, that team, of course. And next up, we have got Team Mercedes. So I think a few people will be wanting this team, but we'll see which two drivers are the lucky ones as the wheel is going to get spinning. There we go, it's on its way. And Dan Murphy, of course, Silver admin, is going to be the first driver in Team Mercedes for Silver, and the second driver is going to be Kingsholm. So Kingsholm, yeah, I think he's very happy with that. He's got an upgrade now on the Toro Rosso team that he was in last season, of course.
And up next is the Haas team as well, as of course that was my favourite team on the 2019 game. And in the Haas, then it is Gernman. Of course, Gernman, the first ever multiple winner of bronze, was fantastic, wasn't he, last season in bronze? Looking forward to see what he can do in the silver. And alongside him is Mark. So that's going to be a very good lineup indeed, isn't it? I am loving that.
Yeah, Mark's joining us for season 2 of Silver as well. So hope he can put in some good performances for Team Haas. And Alfa Romeo is next off the wheel, and the first driver for Alfa Romeo is going to be, well, when we get there, is going to be Jake Wilson, and his teammate will be, I think Jake Wilson's he made some improvements obviously from season 1. His teammate's going to be AFC Razor, so of course he was in the Ferrari team last season and did a good job for Team Ferrari.
And up next out of the hat is Williams, even though I keep calling that a hat, it's just a wheel, isn't it? But it's the Williams team next, so of course the Colgate car, isn't it? Hopefully we'll have an upgrade on that when the game has a patch. And the first out is a Paynes there. Oh, interesting to see what Paynes could do. Of course, Paynes was in and out, wasn't he, last season, so really interesting to see what he could do in the full season. And next is YBR. I think it is very close there between YBR and Dave Shaw, but YBR, fantastic talent. I was loving his overtakes last season.
Yeah, definitely. I think YBR can crack on. Hopefully he can have a good full season as well. AlphaTauri is next up, the third last team off the wheel. And driver number 1 is going to be Irish New Potato, of course, the winner of Bronze Season 1 last season, and very well deserved promotion to Silver. So let's see if he can crack on in Season 2 of Silver. And his teammate is going to be Dave Shaw.
Oh, that's a good old team, isn't it? I'm liking that. I reckon that's going to be one for the constructors, isn't it? Next is the Ferrari team, by the looks. That's absolutely good stuff indeed, then. And who is going to be in the famous red car once again, then? So let's spin that wheel. And first out is Rafa. Rafa has got some good speed, hasn't he? But unfortunately, Japan, he did go into the wall quite heavily, didn't he, in the S's? And let's see who's going to be his teammate. And it is Ghost Recon. I think his Williams drives last season was absolutely phenomenal. He was brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. I think Williams' team last season was very good, and hopefully they can carry it on this season, or he can carry it on for the Team Ferrari. Renault is the last team off the wheel, and there's only 2 people left, but the first driver will be FIFA Beefy, of course, from Team Alpha last season, in the first season, into the Renault for this season, and his teammate is going to be Iceman. So again, another fantastic draw, and looking forward to getting Season 2 of Silver underway. Red Bull have got Andre and Flea. Racing Point have Serious Mushroom and V Todd. McLaren have Paulie Orange and Walker. Mercedes, Dan Murphy and Kingsholm. Haas, Kernman and Marks Mallow. Alfa Romeo is Jake Wilson and Razor. Williams has Paynes and YBR. AlphaTauri is Irish New Potato and Dave Shaw. Ferrari is Rafa and Ghost Recon. And finally, Renault is FIFA Beefy and Iceman.
That is a fantastic lineup, it really is, isn't it? And last but not least is Bronze Season 2. Of course, there was only 9 rounds in Bronze in the first season. Now they've they've over doubled it, haven't they? It is 22 races this season. This is going to be a phenomenal one, isn't it? And who is going to be the first team out of the off the wheel? And it is the Team Haas team then. And as I said before, I love Haas, but it's mainly because of the livery. Let's see then who is going to be the first one off the wheel as well, and it is Forza. Forza won his first race of ALR, didn't he, in Silverstone? A fantastic drive from Forza, one of the best races of last season. And the Gore, my goodness me, that is one hell of a team there, Nosey.
Yeah, very quick line at that one. Hopefully they'll be looking for constructors next season. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, like you said, a long season to come. And the second team off the wheel is Team Ferrari. And first up for Team Ferrari is going to be Blaz. So Blaz, I think he had a bit of an inconsistent run in Bronze last season, but he's definitely got the ability to power on and get some good points for Team Ferrari. And his teammate is going to be Lucist, of course, staying in that Ferrari seat from Season 1 also.
And next then is the third team then off the wheel then, as we spin that wheel, and let's see who we got. We've got the McLaren Renault team, and I got to say I quite like the design of this car. It's really grown on me. And in the who's going to be the first driver of the McLaren then, and it is Racer Sim then. He was a bit up and down, wasn't he, at in the first 9 races of Bronze then, so it'd be interesting to see how he builds on that. And who is next? It is Mike, who is next out of the hat as well. He had some really good races, but I think he needs to finish some more, and he'll be a potentially point scoring driver there.
Yeah, definitely, I think so. And then Racing Point is the next team off the wheel, the 4th team to be picked, and the next drivers to be picked for Racing Point is going to be Maslers. Again, a really consistent performer, so I think he can crack on and maybe even aim for a bit of promotion in Season 2 of Bronze. We shall see. And his teammate is going to be Curly Red, a very consistent performer as well. So both of them very, very good drivers, and very good point scoring drivers as well there, I think.
Oh, and next there is the Alfa Romeo team then. So Alfa Romeo then, it used to be the Sauber team, didn't it? So it has been around in Formula 1 since 1993 in its various disguises, doesn't it? Energetics, my goodness me, straight off the bat there. That's a great driver, it really is. He was high flying in Season 1, wasn't he? Who is going to be alongside him? Oh, Sean Hammers. McLaren was Haas was strong, but my goodness me, that's a very strong lineup there.
Yeah, I think Alpha are going to be another ones rivaling all the other teams really for the constructors in this season. Renault is next off the wheel, and we're going to have, let's see who we're going to have first when the wheel does spin. We're going to have Farth, of course, the Bronze League admin, and his teammate, when we get round to spinning that wheel again, is going to be RDW, of course, a reserve driver who stepped in to fill the places in bronze, and he's hopefully going to be cracking on for a good season.
And next off is the AlphaTauri, of course, formerly known as the Toro Rosso team as well. Then, so a very, as you said, Nosy, a brilliant livery they have, haven't they? And first out off the wheel is Bradfield. There, of course, Bradfield, I think, has come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, since his debut in bronze? He's been fantastic. Who is next then? And it is Dead Rabbit. Oh gosh, that team is very good. Be very much an underdog team there, but I'm really interested to see what they can do.
Yeah, should be getting some points here and there, I think. They'll be making improvements on Season 1, of course, as well. So next off the wheel is Team Red Bull. And the first driver for Team Red Bull is going to be Camaro Racer, of course, a new entry as well into ALR, but of course should be putting in some good performances for Team Red Bull, hopefully. And his teammate is going to be Cobb Guna, of course, a regular face in ALR, of course. There we go.
Can't get rid of him, can we? Next up is the Mercedes team. And in the Mercedes, I got to say, I've done that really well. I'm quite happy with that. And let's just take a look to see who is going to be driving the Mercedes then. And the first one out is Ayrton. Oh, goodness me, now both brothers there are in the same team, more or less, aren't they? Good stuff indeed then. And let's see who is going to be in the second Mercedes. It is Fran. Of course, Fran had to flash the speed last season, didn't he? A bit more finishes, and he is going to be very much a man in the midfield.
Yeah, a good team there. Hopefully they can crack on and improve on performances from last season as well. Last team off the wheel, of course, is Williams. Just waiting for him to get off the screen now, because we knew it was going to be. And the first driver for Williams is going to be Nunda. And the last driver, or the last driver off the wheel, is going to be Velocity. So again, Velocity he's a good point scorer as well, so hopefully he can crack on and maybe go for promotion again this season. So bronze, Team Haas have got Forza and the Gort. Ferrari have got Blaz and Lucist. McLaren, Racer Sim and Mike. Racing Point is Maslers and Curly Red. Alfa Romeo, Energetics and Sean Hammers. Renault is Farth and RD Wee. AlphaTauri is Jay Bradfield and Dead Rabbit. Red Bull is Camaro Racer and Guna. Mercedes is Ayrton and Fran, and finally Williams is Nunda and Velocity. So that's been an absolutely cracking draw. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all look forward to starting the new season on F1 2020.